Overview of basic English grammar, broken into key components. Components. 1. Parts of speech. English words are categorized into 8 parts of speech. Nouns, names of people, places, things, or ideas, example cat, school, happiness. Pronouns, words that replace nouns, example he, she, it, they. Verbs, action or state words, example run, is, think. Adjectives, words that describe nouns, example blue, tall, beautiful. Adverbs, words that describe verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs, example quickly, very, well. Prepositions, words that show relationships, example in, on, at, between. Conjunctions, words that connect clauses, phrases, or words, example and, but, because. Interjections, words that express emotion, example wow, ouch. 2. Sentence structure. A sentence must have a subject and a verb. Simple sentence, 1 subject and 1 verb. Example, she runs. Compound sentence, 2 independent clauses joined by a conjunction. Example, I went to the store, and I bought bread. Complex sentence, an independent clause and at least 1 dependent clause. Example, I stayed home because it was raining. 3 tenses. English has 12 tenses, but the basics include present, I eat. Past, I ate. Future, I will eat. Present continuous, I am eating. Past continuous, I was eating. Future continuous, I will be eating. 4 articles. Definite article, the, specific. Example, the dog is barking. Indefinite articles, a and an, general. Example, a dog is barking. 5 singular and plural nouns. Singular, 1 item, example car. Plural, more than 1 item, example cars. Regular, add s or es, cats, buses. Irregular, change the word, children, feed. 6 subject-verb agreement. The verb must match the subject in number. Singular, she runs every day. Plural, they run every day. 7 questions. Use auxiliary verbs, do, does, did. Example, do you like pizza? With to be, is she coming? 8 common punctuation. Period, dot, ends a statement. Question mark, ends a question. Exclamation point, shows strong emotion. Comma, separates items in a list or clauses. Sentence structure. A sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought. The basic structure of a sentence includes subject, the person or thing performing the action. Predicate, the part of the sentence that tells what the subject does, includes the verb. Example, the dog, subject, barked loudly, predicate. 3 types of sentences. Sentences are classified based on their purpose. Declarative, makes a statement. Example, she likes chocolate. Interrogative, asks a question. Example, do you like chocolate? Imperative, gives a command. Example, close the door. Exclamatory, expresses strong emotion. Example, what a beautiful day. 4 tenses. English verbs change forms to indicate time, past, present, or future. Present tense, describes actions happening now. Example, I walk. Past tense, describes actions that have already happened. Example, I walked. Future tense, describes actions that will happen. Example, I will walk. Each tense has four aspects: simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous, which indicate the state of action. Present tense forms: simple present, I eat. Present continuous, I am eating. Present perfect, I have eaten. Present perfect continuous, I have been eating. Past tense forms: simple past, I ate. Past continuous, I was eating. Past perfect, I had eaten. Past perfect continuous, I had been eating. Future tense forms: simple future, I will eat. Future continuous, I will be eating. Future perfect, I will have eaten. Future perfect continuous, I will have been eating. 5. Subject-verb agreement. The verb in a sentence must agree with the subject in number, singular or plural. Singular subject rightward arrow singular verb. Example, the boy runs. Plural subject rightward arrow plural verb. Example, the boys run. 6. Articles. Articles are words used before nouns to define them as specific or unspecific. Definite article, the refers to a specific noun. Example, the dog is barking. Indefinite articles, and refers to a general noun. Example, a dog is barking. Used before consonant sounds. An apple fell. Used before vowel sounds. 7. Pronouns and antecedents. A pronoun must agree with its antecedent, the noun it replaces, in number and gender. Example, John lost his keys. His refers to John. 8. Adjectives and adverbs. Adjectives modify nouns. Example, she wore a red dress. Adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Example, he ran quickly. Modifying the verb ran. 9. Prepositions. Prepositions show the relationship between a noun and another word. They usually indicate location, direction, time, or method. Examples: the book is on the table. Location: he went to the store. Direction: we'll meet at 5 o'clock. Time: she traveled by bus. Method: 10 conjunctions. Conjunctions link words, phrases, or clauses. Coordinating conjunctions connect two equal parts, example and, but, or. Example, I like tea and coffee. Subordinating conjunctions introduce dependent clauses, example because, although. Example, I stayed home because it was raining. 11. Active versus passive voice. Active voice: the subject performs the action. Example, the chef cooked the meal. Passive voice: the subject receives the action. Example, the meal was cooked by the chef. 12. Punctuation. Punctuation marks are symbols used to clarify meaning. Period. Dot ends declarative sentences. Example, she is happy. Comma. Comma separates items in a list or clauses. Example, I bought apples, oranges, and bananas. Question mark ends interrogative sentences. Example, are you coming? Exclamation mark shows strong emotion. Example, wow, that's amazing. Quotation marks show spoken or quoted words. Example, she said, I'm leaving now. Apostrophe shows possession or contractions. Example, it's John's book. 13. Clauses and phrases. Clause, a group of words with a subject and a verb. Example, he sings. Phrase, a group of words without a subject-verb combination. Example, at the park. Types of clauses. Independent clause can stand alone as a sentence. Example, she left. Dependent clause cannot stand alone and needs an independent clause. Example, because it was funny. 14 Conditional sentences. Conditional sentences express possible situations and their outcomes. 0 Conditional, facts and general truths. Example, if you heat water, it boils. First conditional, real future possibilities. Example, if it rains, I will stay home. Second conditional, unreal or hypothetical situations. Example, if I were rich, I would travel the world. Third conditional, unreal past situations. Example, if I had known, I would have helped. 1 Nouns. Proper noun, a specific name for a person, place, or organization. Example, Sarah, Paris, Google. Common noun, general names for a person, place, or thing. Example, city, dog, book. Singular noun, a noun that represents one person, place, or thing. Example, apple, child. Plural noun, a noun that represents more than one person, place, or thing. Example, apples, children. Possessive noun, a noun that shows ownership. Example, Sarah's book, the dog's leash. Collective noun, a noun that refers to a group of individuals or things. Example, team, flock, bunch. Abstract noun, a noun that refers to an idea, quality, or state rather than a concrete object. Example, happiness, bravery. Compound noun, a noun made up of 2 or more words. Example, toothpaste, mother-in-law. Countable noun, nouns that can be counted. Example, 2 cats, 3 books. Uncountable noun, nouns that cannot be counted. Example, water, sand, information. Material noun, a noun that refers to a material or substance. Example, gold, wood, plastic. 2 Pronouns. Relative pronouns, pronouns that introduce relative clauses. Example, who, whom, whose, which, that. Reflexive pronouns, pronouns that refer back to the subject of the sentence. Example, myself, yourself, themselves. Demonstrative pronouns, pronouns that point to specific things. Example, this, that, these, those. Possessive pronouns, pronouns that indicate ownership. Example, mine, yours, theirs. Indefinite pronouns, pronouns that do not refer to any specific person or thing. Example, someone, anything, everybody. Personal pronouns, pronouns that refer to specific people or things. Example, I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Subject pronouns, pronouns used as the subject of a verb. Example, I, you, he, she. Object pronouns, pronouns used as the object of a verb or preposition. Example, me, you, him, her. Interrogative pronouns, pronouns used to ask questions. Example, who, whom, what, which. Reciprocal pronouns, pronouns used to indicate a mutual relationship. Example, each other, one another. Intensive pronouns, pronouns used for emphasis. Example, myself, yourself, themselves. Distributive pronouns, pronouns that refer to members of a group separately. Example, each, either, neither. 3 Verbs. Verb forms, different forms a verb can take. Example, run, running, ran. Main verbs, the primary verb in a sentence. Example, she runs every day. Helping verbs, verbs that help the main verb. Example is, are, have. Auxiliary verbs, another term for helping verbs. Example, will, can, may. Transitive and intransitive verbs, transitive verbs take a direct object. Example, she kicked the ball, while intransitive verbs do not. Example, he sleeps. Regular verbs, verbs that form their past tense by adding ed. Example, walk, walked. Irregular verbs, verbs that do not follow regular conjugation patterns. Example, go, went. Modal verbs, helping verbs that express ability, possibility, permission, or obligation. example can, could, should. Phrasal verbs, verbs combined with prepositions or adverbs, example give up, look after. Finite verbs, verbs that are limited by a subject, example she runs. Non-finite verbs, verbs that do not change form according to the subject, example to run, running. Linking verbs, verbs that connect the subject with a subject complement, example be, seem, become. Stative verbs, verbs that describe a state rather than an action, example know, believe. Action verbs, verbs that express physical or mental actions, example run, think. Gerund, a verb form ending in ing that functions as a noun, example swimming is fun. 4 adjectives. Descriptive adjectives, adjectives that describe a noun, example blue, tall, beautiful. Quantitative adjectives, adjectives that indicate quantity, example some, few, many. Proper adjectives,